Hi, good morning, everyone. Okay, let us start our class. So, in the last class, we have seen uh, two types of reforms. That is institutional and the technical reforms part. We have seen it is actually general reforms is not actually in your syllabus, but still I am giving some points on it. The general reforms are so what are the what reforms that comes under general reforms are expansion of irrigation facilities, provision of credit, regulated market and cooperative marketing societies, price support policy. Okay, so in case of any confusion, you can ask, right, about this. Expansion of irrigation facilities means bringing the more land under irrigation. Okay, so you know that the Indian agriculture is farmers are mostly depending on the rainfall for their irrigation. So as a matter of fact, year by year the production is fluctuating. There is a huge fluctuation because if there is a rainfall, there will be production. If there is no rainfall, there will be no production. So such kind of instability should not be there. So why we should bring most of the land under irrigation as much as we can. Okay, so provision of credit was also there because in order to do agriculture we need some money also. Okay, so earlier the farmers were taking money from the money lenders. As a matter of fact, we have seen that they fall into the debt trap. Okay, so kind of thing we have already discussed. Regulated market, the agricultural market was started regulated by government. Okay, because in some points of time the farmers need the regulations, means intervention of the government, help of the government. Okay, so why it was regulated. So price support policy, you can see there's a minimum support price was or price we have discussed. Okay, so kind of thing, giving of subsidies. Okay, so kind of thing. Now green revolution, so most talk you know concept, that is green revolution. So what is green revolution? Green revolution is nothing but a new technology in which we started using high yielding seeds, chemical fertilizer, insecticides, pesticides, scientific farm management. What is all this we have seen already. Mechanized means of transportation, what is all this we have already seen. So using of all these things in your agricultural activity is called green revolution. Now expansion of green revolution, so we can say how much extent it is spread over the country. Okay, so it was not widespread. So expansion of green revolution, we could say that it was introduced in some selected crops and some selected states. It is not introduced all over the India. Why it is? Because you know that green revolution is a new technology which is very expensive, which is very very expensive, which could not be adopted by the all farmers. Okay, this is the thing. So what are the states where green revolution could be introduced? Are the western UP, Punjab, Haryana. Okay, so kind of thing. The achievement of green revolution, we can see that after the adoption of green revolution, India becomes self-sufficient in food production. And also India started exporting food crops. Why this so? Because of the adoption of green revolution, the production of agricultural production increased tremendously, considerably. Okay, so kind of thing. So that is your achievement, you can see. So we can divide the introduction of green revolution in two pages. In the first page, you can see that it was during 1960s and 1970s. Okay, so during this page of green revolution, you can see that its scope was just restricted to rice and wheat. Okay, means green revolution, high yielding seeds, variety seeds was introduced in rice and wheat only. And some selected states only during the time: Punjab, Tamil Nadu, Andhra Pradesh, kind of thing. So you have to remember. So during page 1, it was largely introduced to the rice and wheat only. Okay, now page number 2, page 2 is during mid 670s and the mid 80s. During this time, during this page, the green revolution become widespread. Okay, so green revolution was introduced in some other crops also, such as pulses, right? So kind of thing. So larger number of crops are comes under green revolution during this page of green revolution. Okay. So now limitation of green revolution, we can say that some limitations means some demerits of green revolution. So first one is, so it was introduced in some limited crops, it was not introduced in all crops. Okay, so that is one of the limitations. And uneven spread was there, it was not introduced in all over the country, because some sub problems kind of thing. Okay, so number 3, it further, so we can say that it further widens the gap between green rich and poor. Why it is so? Because benefit of the green revolution could be the benefit of green revolution was largely for the rich farmers, because you know that green revolution was a technology which was very expensive, so it is not possible for a poor farmers to adopt such kind of expensive technology. So it was the reason behind. Okay, now the next is, does India need another green revolution? So yes, absolutely we need another green revolution. You can see that if we compare the productivity of the land, means production per acre of land, if you see that, you will find that countries like China, USA are doing far better than us. Okay, our productivity of the land is very less, so we should bring another green revolutions which will emphasis more on the productivity of the land. Okay, now debate over subsidies. So what is subsidy? Subsidy is kind of thing, means government pays behalf purpose. Okay, so supposing that for fertilizers, the what is the one of the important needs of the farmer is the input of the farmers is the fertilizers. So government pays some subsidies. It means that supposing that in the market the industry price is rupees 10, if in that case the government will pay 5 rupees, and another 5 rupees will be paid by the farmers. If it is not paid by the farmer government, so what will happen? The farmers have to give the 10 rupees, but because of subsidies given by the government, the farmers could avail the fertilizers, could get the fertilizers at lower price at rupees 5. So kind of thing, this is the concept of subsidy. Okay, so there is a debate that whether subsidies, agricultural subsidies should be continued or discontinued. Okay, there are two view regarding, means there are two group of economists which have a contradictory views regarding giving subsidies, agricultural subsidy. Okay, so kind of thing, the first group will see, the first group says that it already been, the purpose of all giving subsidy has already been served, because the technology and new technology has been already adopted, and it has served its purpose, and the farmers got the benefits already. Okay, so also they are saying that uh, mm, the giving of subsidy means, agricultural subsidy means giving benefits to the farmers, but it is not there. It is not there means it is there, but in the other side also the fertilizer industry also getting benefits. Okay, so kind of thing. In addition, they are also saying that the subsidy given by the government is not benefiting the actual targeted farmers, means they are largely benefiting those prosperous farmers only. So they are saying that it should be discontinued, because further giving of the subsidies would not serve much. Okay, so that is their view. And the second view is that some economists have the view that the government should continue the agricultural subsidies, because they are saying that agriculture is still a risky business. Okay, agriculture is still a risky business, and most of the farmers are poor, and they would not be able to able to do a farming if government do away with the discontinue the giving of subsidy. So they would not afford, okay, they may not be able to afford the farming expenses. So why they are saying that the giving of subsidies should be continued. So this much for the day. In case of any problems, queries, you can put your comments. Okay, so I'll be happy to answer you. Right. So thank you. Good day, all of you.